Choi Tae-jin has killed 17 men in his life. He knows what a killer looks like. And right now, at 6:23 in the morning in his private courtyard in Seoul, he's watching one teach his 9-year-old son how to break someone's wrist. The woman's name is Zara Bennett. At least that's what her employment papers say. She's been his live-in housekeeper for exactly 6 weeks and 4 days. Quiet, efficient, keeps her head down. The kind of employee who folds his shirts with military precision and never asks questions about the late-night meetings. But this is different. Tae-jin stands frozen in the doorway of the main house, coffee cup halfway to his lips, watching through the morning mist. Zara has Ji-woo by the shoulders. She's crouched to his level, her dark brown skin gleaming with sweat in the early sunlight. She's wearing black athletic clothes instead of her usual uniform. She's rolled the sleeves up to her elbows, exposing lean, muscled forearms that don't belong on any maid he's ever employed. When someone grabs you here, she wraps her hand around Ji-woo's small wrist. You don't pull away. That's what they expect. You rotate like this. She demonstrates slow, controlled. The movement is so smooth it looks like water flowing. Ji-woo copies her. His face is scrunched in concentration, tongue poking out the corner of his mouth. And then his son laughs. The sound cuts through the morning air like a gunshot. Tae-jin hasn't heard that sound in 14 months. Not since the day he buried Ji-woo's mother. Not since his son stopped speaking for 8 weeks and started having nightmares every single night. But right now, in this moment, his son is laughing. Bright and clear and alive. Zara laughs with him. She ruffles his hair, something Tae-jin's own mother never dared to do, and resets his stance. Again. But faster this time. Imagine someone's trying to drag you away from your appa. Ji-woo's face goes serious. He nods. She grabs his wrist. He rotates, breaks her grip. Not perfectly, but close enough. Good. Zara's voice carries across the courtyard. Now if they're bigger, you don't fight strength with strength. You go for the weak points. Eyes, throat, knees. Always the knees. She taps each point on her own body as she speaks. Tae-jin's blood goes cold. That's not self-defense. That's combat training. He sets down the coffee. His hand moves automatically to the gun holstered under his suit jacket. Who the hell is this woman? Before we go any further, I need to hear from you. Have you ever trusted someone only to discover they were hiding something dangerous? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're already hooked, hit that like button so I know you're here for the drama. Let's get into it. Tae-jin doesn't move for another 7 minutes. He watches Zara finish the lesson. Watches her make Ji-woo practice his breathing. Deep inhales, controlled exhales. The kind of tactical breathing Tae-jin's own men use before operations. Watches her scan the perimeter of the courtyard 4 times while Ji-woo drinks water. She moves like a soldier, like someone who's been hunted, or someone who's done the hunting. When she finally leads Ji-woo back inside, Tae-jin is waiting in the kitchen. Ji-woo spots him first. Appa. His face lights up like sunrise. You're home early. Did you see what Zara Nuna taught me? I can actually defend myself now. The boys at school won't be able to. Go wash up. Tae-jin says quietly. Breakfast in 30 minutes. Ji-woo's smile falters. He glances at Zara. She nods once, reassuring, protective. The boy scampers off toward the stairs. The kitchen goes silent. Zara stands by the sink, hands folded in front of her, eyes downcast. The perfect picture of domestic submission. Except Tae-jin can see the tension in her shoulders. The way she's positioned herself with clear sight lines to both exits. The way her weight is balanced on the balls of her feet. Ready to move. How long? He asks in Korean. She doesn't flinch. Doesn't pretend not to understand. 4 days, Mr. Choi. She answers in perfect, unaccented Korean. I've been training Ji-woo for 4 days. For days. Tae-jin sets his coffee cup down carefully on the marble counter. You've been teaching my 9-year-old son how to strike someone's trachea for 4 days. And you didn't think to mention it. You're a very busy man. I didn't want to disturb you with, don't. His voice drops to a whisper that somehow feels more dangerous than shouting. Don't insult my intelligence by pretending this is about my schedule. Zara's jaw tightens, but she remains silent. Tae-jin takes a step closer. then another. Most people shrink when he invades their space. It's instinctive. He's 6'1", broad-shouldered, and he knows exactly how to use his presence as a weapon. Zara doesn't move, doesn't back away even an inch, just holds her ground. Very interesting. Who are you? He asks softly. Your housekeeper, sir. Try again. Zara Bennett. Age 29. British passport. Working visa expires in 7 months. References available upon request. Her voice is steady. Rehearsed. You ran my background check before you hired me. Everything cleared. He did run her background. Came back clean. Almost too clean. No red flags. No criminal record. Employment history in hospitality across 3 countries. Glowing references from 2 families in London. But something about it felt manufactured. Like a story that was too perfect. British. He repeats slowly. You don't sound British. I've lived in many places. My accent's a bit muddled. And the combat training. My father was Royal Marines. He believed women should be able to defend themselves. She pauses, meets his eyes directly. Is there a problem with me teaching Jiwoo basic self-defense? I can stop if you prefer. It's a calculated move. She knows he won't say yes. Not when Jiwoo is finally smiling again. Not when his son laughed for the first time in over a year. Taejin studies her for a long moment. She's beautiful. He noticed that the day she interviewed. Dark skin, natural hair usually tied back, eyes that seem to see everything. But not in the way that usually catches his attention. There's something harder about her. Something that doesn't ask for protection or validation. You'll continue Jiwoo's lessons. He says finally. 1 hour every afternoon. 4 to 5. But if I find out you're lying to me about who you are, you won't. She interrupts softly. There's nothing to find, Mr. Choi. Bold. Either stupid or confident she can disappear before he finds the truth. We'll see. Taejin murmurs. He leaves the kitchen, pulls out his phone, sends a text to his head of security. Mr. Han. Run a deeper check on Zara Bennett. Everything. I want to know what she ate for breakfast 10 years ago. The reply comes in 30 seconds. Yes, sir. Zara lies in her small bedroom on the 3rd floor and stares at the ceiling. The room is modest. A single bed, a desk, a chair, a small attached bathroom. Everything she owns fits in 2 bags. It always does. Idiot, she thinks. You stupid, reckless idiot. She shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have trained the kid. Shouldn't have drawn attention to herself. The whole point of this placement was to stay invisible. Blend in. Be forgettable. But then she'd seen those bruises on Jiwoo's arms 2 weeks ago. The finger-shaped ones that only come from other children grabbing too hard. From bullies who know a target when they see one. Who can smell weakness like sharks smell blood. She'd asked him about it carefully. He'd lied. Said he fell. Said he was just clumsy. But Zara knows the difference between accident bruises and assault bruises. She spent 6 years in close protection. She's seen every kind of violence there is. And when she looked into Jiwoo's eyes, those big frightened eyes that tried so hard to be brave, something inside her cracked. Because she knows what it's like to be the weak one. The hunted one. The one who can't fight back. She spent 11 months running. 11 months looking over her shoulder. 11 months waking up in cold sweats, seeing Marcus's face, hearing Priya's screams, feeling Daniel's blood on her hands as he bled out in that cobble safe house. Run, Z. Don't look back. Just run. Daniel's last words. Gasped out with a sucking chest wound and 30 seconds left to live. She ran. Straight through Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Thailand, China, and finally South Korea. Working under the table jobs. Sleeping in hostels. Changing her name twice. The current identity, Zara Bennett, cost her $8,000 and 3 weeks in a Bangkok apartment, while a very talented forger built her a completely new life. The previous job was supposed to be simple. Protect a British diplomat during a peace summit in Kabul. For person team, 2 weeks of work, £50,000 split 4 ways. Except the diplomat wasn't there for peace. He was there to finalize an arms deal. Selling British weapons to warlords through shell companies. Laundering the money through international charities. And someone decided he knew too much. The assassins came at 3 in the morning. 4 of them. Professional. Efficient. Brutal. They put 2 bullets in the diplomat's head before Zara even cleared her sidearm. Then they systematically executed her entire team. Marcus. Shot in the doorway trying to reach the panic button. Priya. Shot in the back trying to shield the diplomat's aid. Daniel. Shot twice in the chest buying Zara 30 seconds to reach the service exit. Zara survived because she was fast. Because she didn't freeze. Because Daniel gave her just enough time. She's been running ever since. The people who ordered the hit don't leave witnesses. They have resources, connections, money. They've been hunting her across 4 continents for 11 months. Seoul was supposed to be the end of the line. One more job. Build up enough cash for a new identity. Then disappear into somewhere remote. Rural Japan maybe, or northern Canada. But then she met Ji-woo. Sweet, scared, brilliant Ji-woo who reminded her so much of her little brother Thomas. Thomas who was bullied his entire childhood. Thomas who she couldn't protect because she was too young, too small, too weak. Thomas who hanged himself in his university dorm room at 19. She couldn't save Thomas. But maybe she could save this boy, even if it meant risking everything. Her phone buzzes. Not her primary phone. The burner. The one only 3 people in the world have the number to. Zara's entire body goes rigid. She stares at the phone for 5 full seconds before picking it up. Unknown number. She opens the message. Her blood turns to ice. Nice work with the kid. Soul suits you. Shame it won't last. Below the text, a photo loads. It's her. In the courtyard with Ji-woo. Taken this morning from an elevated angle. Outside the estate walls. No. No, 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 no. A second message arrives. Does the Mafia boss know what you really are? Maybe we should tell him. Zara is moving before she consciously decides to move. She's out of bed, dressed in 40 seconds, pulling her go bag from under the mattress. It's always packed, always ready. Passport, cash in 3 currencies, burner phones, fake IDs, a clean pistol. She has maybe 2 hours, maybe less. If they're watching the house, if they know where she is, if they decide to send a team. She moves toward the door. Her hand is on the handle. And then she freezes, because Ji-woo is sleeping 1 floor down. And Taejin's security is good. Very good. But it's not built to handle professional killers. Not the kind who've been hunting her for 11 months. Not the kind who burned through a 4-person XSAS team in under 3 minutes. If they come, if they decide to make a statement, children are collateral damage. She knows that. She's seen it. She's pulled the bodies of kids out of bomb buildings in Syria. Just run, Z. Daniel's voice in her head. The same thing he said with his dying breath. But her hand is already moving to the second burner phone. The one she swore she'd never use. The emergency contact. The only person from her old life who might still help. She sends a single text. It's me. They found me. Korean Mafia boss's estate. Seoul, Yongsan district. There's a child involved. 9 years old. Please. The response comes in under 2 minutes. Sit tight. I'm making calls. Help is coming. Do not run. If you run, the kid becomes the target. Zara closes her eyes, sits down on the edge of her bed, and starts to pray to a god she stopped believing in the night Marcus died. Taejin is reviewing security reports in his office when Mr. Han knocks at 4 in the morning. He hasn't slept. He rarely does. Come in. Mr. Han enters. He's 62, ex-Korean National Intelligence Service, and he's been Taejin's head of security for 8 years. His face is grim. The background check on Zara Bennett came back. Taejin sets down his whiskey, and everything checks out. British passport is legitimate. Work visa is legitimate. References check out. Employment history is consistent. Mr. Han pauses. Almost too consistent. Meaning someone built her a very expensive false identity. Professional grade. The kind that costs $20,000 minimum. The kind people only buy when they're running from something serious. There it is. Taejin feels something cold and sharp settle in his chest. Not anger. Not yet. Just cold calculation. Who is she really? We don't know yet. But I pulled the security footage from last night. Mr. Han sets a tablet on the desk. Watch this. He pulls up a video. The timestamp reads 11:34 p.m. Zara's bedroom. Night vision camera. She's sitting on her bed reading. Then her phone buzzes. She looks at it, and her entire face drains of color. Then she moves. In 30 seconds, she's packed a bag. In 45 seconds, she's dressed in dark clothes. In 60 seconds, she's standing at her door like she's about to bolt. But she doesn't. Instead, she stands there, frozen, thinking. Then she pulls out a second phone. One that security didn't know she had. Sends a text. Waits. Gets a response. And then she sits back down on the bed and stays. She was going to run. Mr. Han says quietly. Something spooked her badly. But something made her stay. Jiwoo. Taejin murmurs. She stayed because of Jiwoo. That's my assessment. Mr. Han hesitates. Sir, there's more. Say it. 3 suspicious vehicles circled the neighborhood between midnight and 3 a.m. 2 vans, 1 sedan. All with blocked plates. Our perimeter cameras caught them. They were running surveillance patterns. Professional grade. Taejin's hand tightens on the whiskey glass. You think someone's watching the house. I think someone's watching her. Which means my son is in the blast radius. Exactly. Taejin stands. He moves to the window overlooking the courtyard. The sun is just starting to rise. In a few hours, Jiwoo will wake up. He'll ask for Zara. He'll want to train. He'll smile that Taejin thought was gone forever. Double the security on Jiwoo. He says quietly. No one in or out of the estate without my direct approval. Rotate guards every 3 hours. Run background checks on everyone who's delivered anything to this house in the last 2 months. Food, mail, packages, everything. Yes, sir. And the woman. Taejin watches the empty courtyard. Remembers the way Zara moved. The way she held herself. The way she looked at Jiwoo with something that looked almost like grief. Bring her to my office. Now. Sir, it's 4 in the morning. Taejin turns. His face is carved from stone. I don't care if it's 4 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon. Bring her to me now. We're going to have a conversation about the truth. 20 minutes later, Zara enters his office flanked by 2 guards. She's dressed, hair pulled back, face composed, but he can see the exhaustion in her eyes, the tension in her shoulders. Sit, he orders. She sits in the leather chair across from his desk. He slides the tablet across to her, shows her the footage, her packing, her almost running, her mysterious phone call. Tell me who you really are, he says quietly, and tell me why someone sent 3 cars to watch my house last night. Zara's face goes carefully blank. I don't know what you're talking about. Wrong answer. Taejin leans forward. I have a son sleeping 2 floors above us. If you brought danger to my door, I will put a bullet between your eyes myself and dump your body where no one will ever find it. Do you understand me? Her jaw tightens. For a long moment she says nothing, just stares at him with those dark, unreadable eyes. And then she speaks. My name is Zara Bennett. That part is true. I'm 29. I'm not British. I'm from Manchester, but I haven't been back in 7 years. I worked private military contracting in the Middle East and Africa for 6 years. Elite clients, diplomats, CEOs, oil executives, people who need protection in war zones. Taejin says nothing, just waits. 11 months ago, I was assigned to protect a British diplomat during a peace summit in Kabul. Someone put 2 bullets in his head while I was 20 feet away. Then they killed my entire team. 3 people. My friends. Her voice doesn't shake. Professional execution. In and out in 3 minutes. Who's hunting you? I don't know. The diplomat was dirty. Arms dealing. Money laundering. Could be any of a dozen organizations who wanted him dead and didn't want witnesses. And you chose to hide in my house. I chose to hide in a house with military-grade security and a man who understands how to stay off the grid. Zara meets his eyes directly. I wasn't trying to endanger Jiwoo. I swear on my life. I thought if I just kept my head down, stayed invisible, I could. You trained my son in hand-to-hand combat. I trained your son to survive. Her voice hardens. Because I saw the bruises, Mr. Choi. I saw the way he flinches when doors slam. I saw the fear in his eyes. And I knew if something ever happened, if someone ever came for you through him, He'd need every possible advantage. It's a fair point. Terrifying, but fair. The text last night. Taejin says. What did it say? Zara hesitates. Then slowly she pulls out the burner phone. Shows him. Nice work with the kid. Soul suits you. Shame it won't last. Below it, the photo of her and Jiwoo in the courtyard. Taejin's blood goes cold. Then hot. Then cold again. You put my son on their radar. No. Zara's voice is urgent now. Desperate. I made sure no one could trace me here. I've been so careful. I never leave the estate except with Jiwoo for school runs. I don't make personal calls. I don't contact anyone from my old life. She stops. Swallows hard. Her hands are shaking slightly. I think they've been watching me for weeks. Waiting. And yesterday when I was training Jiwoo in the courtyard, I was visible from the ridge. I got careless for one morning and who did you text after? Contact. Someone who can help. Who? Someone you don't want to know about. Taejin almost laughs. This woman. This stranger who's been living in his house for 6 weeks. Who he caught training his son like a soldier. Who just admitted she's been hunted across continents by people who kill professionally. She's trying to protect him. Brave or insane. Maybe both. Let me be very clear. Taejin says softly. If anyone comes for my son because of you, I will end them. Slowly. Painfully. And then I will end you. Are we understood? Zara doesn't blink. If anyone comes for your son, they'll have to go through me first. You're a housekeeper. I'm a soldier. And I don't abandon the people I protect. The door to the office opens. Mr. Han enters without knocking. Face urgent. Sir, we have a situation. Taejin's eyes don't leave Zara. What situation? Jiwoo's school just called. There's been an incident. Taejin is in the car with Mr. Han, Zara, and 4 guards in 6 minutes. He didn't ask if Zara should come. She was already moving toward the vehicle before he could say anything. They arrive at Seoul International Academy to find Jiwoo sitting in the principal's office. The boy is unharmed, but his hands are shaking. His uniform is dirty. There's a red mark on his cheek. 3 other boys sit across from him. All older. All bigger. One of them has tissues stuffed up his nose. Dark blood staining his white collar. Another is holding his throat, wincing every time he swallows. The third is clutching his knee. Their parents stand behind them. Expensive suits. Designer handbags. Faces twisted with rage. The principal, a thin woman with steel gray hair and wire-rimmed glasses, stands when Taejin enters. Mr. Choi, thank you for coming so quickly. There's been an unfortunate altercation. What happened? Taejin's voice is deadly quiet. There was an incident in the West Courtyard before morning classes. These 3 students attempted to take your son's watch. Jiwoo defended himself. Taejin's eyes cut to his son. Are you hurt? Jiwoo shakes his head. His voice comes out small. I'm okay, Appa. He broke my son's nose. One of the mothers shrieks. She's wearing a Chanel suit and her makeup is running from angry tears. Your child is a violent thug. He should be expelled immediately. Taejin looks at the boy in question. Minjun. 12 years old. Nearly twice Jiwoo's size. Built like he plays rugby. He used some kind of martial arts. Another father steps forward. Thin face. Weasel eyes. Expensive watch. My son Jaehyun can barely breathe. He struck him in the throat. This is completely unacceptable. The third parent, a man in his 50s with slicked back hair and cold eyes, says nothing. Just stares at Taejin with barely concealed contempt. Taejin recognizes him immediately. Park Sang-woo, lieutenant in the Hasan faction. Rival organization. They've been at war on and off for 5 years. This just got very complicated. Jiwoo, Taejin says quietly. Tell me exactly what happened. Jiwoo's voice trembles, but he speaks clearly. They cornered me by the bathrooms. All 3 of them. Minjun said he wanted my watch. The one Halmiani gave me. I said no. He grabbed my wrist really hard. So I rotated like Zara Nuna taught me. Like you're supposed to when someone grabs you. He pauses, takes a shaky breath. And when he didn't let go and pushed me against the wall, I went for the weak points. Eyes, throat, knees. Just like she said. The room goes completely silent. The weak points. The principal repeats faintly, Mr. Choi, who exactly has been teaching your 9-year-old son to target vital areas? I have. Zara speaks from the doorway. Every head turns. She steps forward, bows slightly to the principal. I'm Mr. Choi's employee. I've been teaching Jiwoo self-defense. He was outnumbered 3-1 by boys significantly larger and older than him. He defended himself appropriately using non-lethal techniques. Appropriately. The weasel-faced father turns purple. You taught a child to be a violent criminal. I taught a child to survive. Zara's voice is calm, but there's steel underneath. Your sons attempted to rob him and assault him. He protected himself. If you have an issue with that, perhaps you should teach your children not to attack smaller kids. The mothers gasp. One clutches her pearls. Literally clutches her actual pearl necklace. Park Sang-woo finally speaks. His voice is smooth. Dangerous. How interesting. The great Choi Tae-jin hides behind a woman's skirts now. And a foreign one at that. The temperature in the room drops 20 degrees. Tae-jin doesn't move, doesn't react, just looks at Park with the kind of stillness that precedes violence. Careful, Park. You're talking about my employee. Show some respect. Respect. Park laughs. It's an ugly sound. Your boy attacks 3 students unprovoked and you want respect. My boy was defending himself against 3 bullies who've apparently been targeting him for weeks. Tae-jin's voice is soft, deadly. Where was the school's zero-tolerance policy then? The principal clears her throat nervously. Mr. Choi, I understand you're upset, but violence cannot be tolerated regardless of circumstances. We'll need to suspend Jiwoo for 1 week while we investigate. Then I suggest you suspend all 4 boys equally. Tae-jin says. Because if my 9-year-old is being punished for defending himself while the 12-year-olds who assaulted him walk free, I'll be making a very generous donation to Seoul Academy across town, along with a detailed interview about how this institution protects bullies and punishes victims. The principal's face goes white. Park's face goes red. Are you threatening the school, Choi? I don't make threats. Tae-jin smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. I make promises. And I promise that if my son is punished for this, everyone in this room will regret it. Park stands up slowly, steps forward. You think your money makes you untouchable. No. Tae-jin stands too. He's taller, broader. I think my son was attacked and I will protect him by any means necessary. If you have a problem with that, we can discuss it outside. Mr. Choi, Mr. Park. The principal's voice rises. Please, let's all calm down. Zara moves, subtle but deliberate, positioning herself between Tae-jin and Park. Her body language is relaxed, but Tae-jin notices the way her weight shifts. The way her hand drifts toward her hip where he'd bet money there's a weapon concealed. I think we're done here, Zara says quietly. Jiwoo defended himself. The security cameras will prove it. We'll be withdrawing him from this school effective immediately. She looks at the principal. You'll have our formal notice by end of day. Then she turns to Jiwoo. Come on, sweetheart. Let's go home. Jiwoo scrambles up, moves to Zara's side. She puts a protective hand on his shoulder. Park watches this. His eyes narrow. He looks at Zara, really looks at her, at the way she moves, the way she carries herself. Who are you? He asks. No one important. Zara meets his gaze without flinching. Park smiles. It's a predator's smile. We'll see. They leave the school with Jiwoo between them. The boy is quiet, shaking slightly. When they get to the car, Tae-jin crouches down to his son's level. You did good. I'm proud of you. Jiwoo's eyes go wide, shocked. You're not mad. You defended yourself. That's exactly what you should have done. But I hurt them. They were trying to hurt you first. Tae-jin cups his son's face gently. Listen to me. You are never in trouble for protecting yourself. Never. Understand? Jiwoo nods. Tears spill down his cheeks. Tae-jin pulls him into a hug. The first real embrace they've shared in months. Over Jiwoo's shoulder, Tae-jin meets Zara's eyes. She's watching them with an expression he can't quite read. Something soft, sad, longing maybe. Thank you, he mouths. She nods once. They're halfway home when Mr. Han's phone rings. He answers, listens. His face goes grim. Sir, we have a problem. Taejin is getting very tired of hearing that sentence. What now? Park Sang-woo. He's connected to the Hasten faction. Upper-level lieutenant. Mr. Han pauses. His son was the one Ji-woo injured. Of course he was. Taejin closes his eyes. This is bad. It gets worse. Mr. Han continues. I just got word from our contact in their organization. Park is furious. He's calling it a public humiliation. He's demanding retaliation. Retaliation. Taejin's voice hardens. Against a 9-year-old. Their exact words were, accidents happen to children all the time. Zara goes rigid in her seat. Over my dead body. That can be arranged. Mr. Han says grimly. Because there's more. I finally got intel on who's been watching the house. The vehicles from last night. And private military contractors. Eastern European. Expensive. The kind people hire for wet work. Mr. Han glances at Zara in the rearview mirror. Someone put out a contract. How much? Zara's voice is barely above a whisper. 2 million euros. Dead or alive. The car goes silent. Ji-woo has fallen asleep against Taejin's shoulder, exhausted from the adrenaline crash. Unaware that he's sitting in a vehicle with 2 groups of killers hunting them. So let me get this straight. Taejin says slowly. We now have a rival gang threatening my son. And international assassins hunting my housekeeper, who is currently living in my house. With my son. That's the situation, yes sir. Taejin looks at Zara. She's staring out the window. Her jaw is clenched. He can see her mind working, calculating, planning her escape route probably. Don't even think about it, he says. She turns to him. Think about what? Running. You run, they'll still come. And Ji-woo becomes the easiest way to draw you out. I would never. I know. That's why you're staying. Taejin's voice is firm. We handle this together. Mr. Choi, I've brought enough danger to your door. You've also brought my son back to life. Taejin looks down at Ji-woo sleeping peacefully. For the first time in over a year, he's smiling in his sleep. That's worth protecting. Zara's eyes glisten. She blinks rapidly. When they arrive at the estate, the security has tripled. Armed guards at every entrance. New cameras. Motion sensors. The place looks like a military compound. Mr. Han briefs them in Taejin's office. Ji-woo is with the house staff having lunch, unaware. Full lockdown protocol. Mr. Han says, no one enters or leaves without biometric clearance. I've called in additional men from our associates. We'll have 24-hour rotations. For hour shifts. Good. Taejin pours himself whiskey. Offers one to Zara. She shakes her head. There's a tactical problem though. Mr. Han continues. We're defending against 2 separate threats with different objectives. The Hasten faction wants revenge. They'll come loud, aggressive. The contractors want the target. He nods at Zara. They'll come quiet, surgical. So we're fighting a war on 2 fronts. Taejin says, essentially yes. Then we need to change the game. Zara speaks up. Stop being defensive. Start being offensive. Both men look at her. She stands. Moves to the desk, pulls out a notepad and starts sketching. The contractors hunting me. They're professionals, but they follow patterns. They'll surveil for 3 to 5 days. Map routines. Identify weaknesses. Then they'll strike during a vulnerability window. How do you know this? Mr. Han asks. Because it's what I would do. Zara doesn't look up. We use that. We give them a pattern, a routine. Create a vulnerability window that's actually a trap. You want to bait them. Taejin says, I want to end this. Zara meets his eyes. Because as long as I'm here, Ji-woo is in danger. So we finish it. Fast and permanent. And the Hasten faction. That's your territory. Zara says, you know how to handle gang politics better than I do. Taejin considers this. He's fought the Hasten faction before. They respect strength. Fear power. Understand consequences. I'll make a call. He says, request a sit-down with their leadership. Explain that Park's son was in the wrong. Offer compensation. You think they'll accept? Mr. Han sounds skeptical. No. Taejin smiles coldly. But it'll buy us time. And it'll make them think we're weak. Willing to negotiate. Then when they move against us, we'll be ready. The next 4 days are tense. The estate becomes a fortress. Jiwoo is kept inside. He doesn't complain much because Zara continues training him. But now Taejin joins them, father and son, side by side, learning to fight together. It's during one of these sessions that Jiwoo asks the question that breaks Taejin's heart. Appa, why are there so many guards now? Taejin glances at Zara. She nods slightly, giving him permission to tell the truth. Some bad people might try to hurt our family. Taejin says carefully, so we're being extra careful. Because of what I did at school. No, because of what I do for work. And because Zara has some people from her past who are angry with her. Jiwoo processes this. Are they going to hurt Zara Nuna? Not if I can help it. Jiwoo looks at Zara. His eyes are too old for 9. Too understanding. You're not gonna leave, are you? Zara crouches down to his level. Her voice is thick with emotion. I promised you I'd stay. I keep my promises. Even if it's dangerous. Especially then. That night Taejin finds Zara on the roof. She's sitting on the edge, legs dangling over the side, staring at the Seoul skyline. He sits beside her, hands her a cup of tea. She takes it but doesn't drink. He's getting attached. Taejin says quietly, to you. I know. I'm sorry. Don't be. Taejin stares at the city lights. I've been a terrible father. Distant. Cold. Too consumed with business and grief. You gave him something I couldn't. What's that? Hope. Taejin turns to look at her. You made him believe he could be strong. That he wasn't helpless. Zara's hands shake slightly around the teacup. I see my little brother when I look at him. Thomas. He was bullied his whole life. I couldn't protect him. I was too young, too weak. He killed himself when he was 19. I'm sorry. Me too. She finally sips the tea. That's why I can't leave. Even though I should. Even though it would be safer for everyone. I can't abandon another kid who needs me. Then don't. Taejin says simply, stay. We'll handle whatever comes. Together. She looks at him. Really looks at him. At this beautiful, dangerous, complicated man who's offering her something she hasn't had in 11 months. Safety. Family. Home. Okay. She whispers. Okay. They sit in silence for a while. And then Taejin does something that surprises both of them. He reaches over and takes her hand. She doesn't pull away. The attack comes on the 5th night. 3:17 in the morning. Taejin is asleep when the alarms blare. He's up and armed in 15 seconds. Moves into the hallway. Mr. Han is already there. We have breaches on 2 sides. East perimeter and west gate. At least 12 hostiles. Maybe more. Taejin's blood runs cold. Where's Jiwoo? Panic room. Zara got him there first thing. And Zara. Defending the panic room. Taejin runs. Through the hallway down the stairs. He can hear gunfire now. Shouting. The crash of breaking glass. He rounds the corner to the basement level where the panic room is hidden behind a false wall in the wine cellar. And he sees Zara. She's in full combat mode. Black tactical clothes. Hair tied back. Gun in one hand, knife in the other. 4 bodies on the ground around her. All dead or dying. A 5th attacker comes at her from the left. She spins. Fires twice. Center mass. He drops. A 6th comes from the right. She's out of ammunition. Drops the gun. Closes distance. Knife to the throat. Brutal. Efficient. Deadly. Taejin has seen violence his entire life. He's ordered executions. Watched interrogations. Killed men with his own hands. But watching Zara fight is something else entirely. She moves like water. Like death itself. Then he sees the 7th attacker. Coming up behind her. Rifle raised. Taejin doesn't think. Just moves. Fires 3 times. The attacker goes down. Zara spins. Sees him. Her eyes are wild. Adrenaline and fear and something primal. More coming. She gasps. At least 5 more. Maybe 8. This is coordinated. Professional. Hasten faction. No. She shakes her head. These are mine. Contractors. European accents. Military tactics. Then where's Hasten? As if in answer, an explosion rocks the upper floor. The sound of shattering windows. More gunfire. There they are. Taejin says grimly. They're hitting us from both sides. Zara's voice is urgent. We need to get Jiwoo out. Now, there's too many. The panic room can hold for hours. Not if they have breaching charges. And they will. She meets his eyes. Trust me. They will. Taejin makes a decision. He pulls out his phone. Calls Mr. Han. Initiate Protocol Black. Everyone to the underground garage. We're evacuating. Sir, we can hold them. No, we can't. Not against two separate assault teams. We leave. Now. They fight their way through the house. Taejin takes point. Zara covers their six. They reach the panic room. Taejin enters the code. The door hisses open. Jiwoo is inside, curled in the corner, crying. When he sees them, he runs to Zara. She catches him, holds him tight. I've got you. She whispers fiercely. I've got you, baby. I won't let anyone hurt you. The underground garage is chaos. Guards loading into vehicles. Wounded being helped. The sound of battle above them. They pile into Taejin's armored SUV. Mr. Han drives. Taejin rides shotgun. Zara and Jiwoo in the back. The garage door opens. They burst out into the night. Gunfire erupts immediately. Bullets ping off the armored panels. Go, go, go. Taejin shouts. Mr. Han floors it. They crash through the outer gate. Onto the main road. Two motorcycles follow. Shooters on the back. Zara rolls down the window. Leans out. Returns fire with deadly accuracy. One motorcycle goes down. Then the other. They drive for 20 minutes. Sirens wailing behind them. Police finally responding. Too late as always. When they're certain they're not being followed, Mr. Han pulls into an underground parking garage. A safe house Taejin keeps for emergencies. They stumble out of the vehicle. Jiwoo is shaking uncontrollably. Zara is bleeding from her ribs. Slashed by a knife at some point. Taejin has a bullet graze on his shoulder. Mr. Han is on the phone coordinating with their remaining men. Getting casualty reports. Taejin doesn't want to know the numbers yet. He looks at Zara. She's holding Jiwoo, whispering to him, soothing him. Her shirt is soaked with blood, but she doesn't seem to notice. We need to end this, Taejin says quietly. Both threats. Permanently. Zara looks up. Her eyes are hard, cold. The eyes of someone who's made a decision. I know how, she says. But you're not going to like it. Try me. Zara takes a breath. Looks at Jiwoo sleeping in her arms. Then back at Taejin. We stop running. We stop defending. We bring them to us. On our terms. And we finish this once and for all. Taejin stares at her. This woman covered in blood. Holding his son like he's the most precious thing in the world. Ready to burn down anyone who threatens them. Tell me the plan, he says. Zara smiles. It's not a kind smile. It's the smile of a warrior about to go to war. First, we're going to need more guns. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the Nova Dark Love family. Drop a comment and tell me Team Taejin or Team Zara. Who's your favorite? And where are you watching from? I want to see every country in the comments. Hit that like button if the story had you on the edge of your seat. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. Because trust me, you're not ready for what happens next. This is Nova Dark Love, where love is dangerous. And warriors protect what's theirs. Stay blessed. I'll see you in the next one.